What up, MVPs? Rico Knows here. Going to talk to you guys about UFC Fight Night, the results show. It was Steve Garcia versus David Onama in the main event. I'll pull up the fight card just to show you real quick. Boom! This is the fight order that was in. I think we did really well. Now, some people might have tried to get everything right. That's not my problem. I can just tell you that locks went undefeated. We hit some props. The lock prop went undefeated. We hit all the black locks or black props. That matters. Those are the leans there. That was pretty good stuff. Hit a couple value bets. 2-2 on the Rico Knows bets. I feel pretty good about it because one was a plus 200, a plus 151, and then we got robbed. So it's all good. But all in all, felt like a really good day. And I know me personally, I'm super green today. That's all I can tell you. I'm super green today, probably up 25 units. Haven't even checked the books. Shout out to Kim. She just got through the door. She's downstairs unpacking. We'll talk to her afterwards. So I'm going to talk about all the fighters and all that stuff just so you guys know we have improved to 56%. Or no, we've actually gone down. 56% for Rico Knows Best Plays. Parlays are at 38%. That went up because we hit the one parlay. Props overall, we increased and we did well. Value bets went down. Prop value bets, I had one prop that was going to get you paid. It didn't work out. The leans are way up. Prop leans way up. We're looking good. Our locks improved. We went 2-0. And then our prop parlays and locks here was 2-0 as well. So everything increased. Everything went well. Went 7-5 overall. Don't really stress that kind of shit. What I stress is, where do you put it? Where do you believe it? Where do you put it? That's what I said. Where do you put it? Oh, my goodness. All right, but let's go talk about these fights. So, first fight of the night was Talita Alencar versus Ariana Carnelossi. Talked to you guys about this fight. I told you, live bet it. It felt like Alencar is the better fighter. She's a better grappler. She can go out there and do things. But, guys, she has zero cardio. She even looked exhausted. I know she won this fight by rear naked choke and eventually won by a submission in the third round. But, man, she looked exhausted. She looked terrible, and she was winning the fight. I feel like if she was ever on bottom and ever faced any adversity, she would fold because she only had the advantage in this fight because she was never on bottom. But if she ever was, she's going to lose. Ariane Carnelossi, she fights like an idiot. She's very, very active, going to throw a bunch of punches, going to do all this stuff, but she has zero takedown defense. I told you guys her takedown defense was 14%, meaning if you sneeze, that bitch is falling over, and that's exactly what happened. And she looks like a dude, so we don't like those. But anyways, yeah, easy call, easy win, felt good. Shout out to us. We started off the day on a roll. Next fight, talk about a slam dunk assessment. Seikon Ko, whatever his name is, my boy Ko here, the Korean Tyson. He's not a Korean Tyson at all. I told you guys, great wrestling, very dominant athlete, and is mean. He knows when to put damage on you in different body positions. He absolutely embarrassed Phil Rowe. Anybody telling you to take Phil Rowe because he's going to knock this dude out, outwork him, all that shit, they're all idiots. And I know every person on the internet, all those free dudes on YouTube, I know all those morons were on Phil Rowe. Yep, I watch all their shows just to hear how stupid they are. And I'm like, yo, you don't know what you're talking about. Phil Rowe needed a miracle to win his last fight. No cardio, looked worthless. Homie got up, and I told you, he looks like a dude who wears, he looks like he wears slides. Y'all know what slides are, like house shoes? He looks like he wears these slippers, and he's just under the bridge somewhere. We got a place off of Washington Road here in Augusta, and then we just drive by them motherfuckers. We just be like, oh, my God. They don't even have signs that say we'll work for food because they ain't trying to work. Shout out to Snap. But I'm letting you know right now, Phil Rowe is a bum. Never believe in that dude. I don't care. He doesn't respect your coin. And that boy Ko over there, if I see him in this minus 180 range, I'm heavy, bro. 4-5 unit. I think he's an amazing fighter. Very dominant wrestler. I know he got knocked out on the regional scene. I don't care about none. You can't knock him out if you're on your back. You ain't knocking him out laying on your back. And the homie knows what to do. Fight IQ through the roof. 13 minutes of control time. I think they shorted him. It felt like 15 minutes of control time. 4 for 4 on takedowns. You're never getting up. Oh, it's beautiful. Shout out to Ko. What an amazing fighter. Next fight, another slam dunk assessment. It was a lock for the night. Alice Ardeline, she's the OnlyFans model showing her ass everywhere. She comes out here, she just punches. And what we noticed from her punching, number one, she doesn't wear damage well. Remember that, because if we're going to the judges and one of you looks beat up, you don't want to be the one that looks old and beat up. She looks old and beat up. Okay? She looks like she's been in that joint. I'm letting you know. She like one of them streetwalkers. But when she throws, it's nice, bro. It's nice. She's slick with it. Her boxing, she has really good fundamentals. And I'm talking about muscle memory. Head off line, dodging strikes, circling. She punches with power. She's very one-dimensional. She's not a great grappler. She couldn't really dominate and impose her will. We know Cornejo Ruiz is not a great grappler, but she couldn't go do the grappling. But who cares? You're piecing her up. You throw 288 strikes in this thing. And you just go out there and just outclass her from a striking perspective. And I love that for Alice Arderling. On the other side, Montserrat Cornejo Ruiz is really small for the weight class. She's 5 feet tall. And she throws punches and bunches, as one of the MVP said. Punches and bunches, but they don't hurt at all. They really don't. She's not throwing with any real consequences. She fights like a girl. She looks like a girl and fights like a girl. I want my chicks with dick. You know what I'm saying? I want my chicks with a beard. Like I want them to come out and be like, yo, I just finished shaving. That's Alice Arderling. She looks tough. And I guess people like enjoying looking at her ass, but she's an awful looking lady. Nonetheless, dominant, power behind her strikes. I think there's limitation to her greatness. She is not a complete ass kicker. She's not somebody that's going to fight at a very high level. This is early prelim caliber fighter. Careful. The fact that she won, the fact that she was a minus 320 favorite, moving forward, you need to be careful because she's not going to win you a fight against one of these other elite girls, just so you know what's going on. Shout out to USC's bum ass for missing a field goal right now. Norma Dump Truck Dumont versus Ketlin Vieira. I told you guys I'm taking the underdog. Vieira's bigger, stronger, more dominant, and guess what? Vieira won this fight. Now the judges, they need to do anything to keep Norma Dumont in this thing. Keep her undefeated 5-5 win streak. This is a robbery of all robberies. Dumont did not win this fight. Not even close. She clearly lost 2 rounds. She was taken down and dominated and never got up. I don't know what we're doing. It was some guy named Cleary, Derek Cleary. And I forgot the other guy. I tagged the FBI. Immediately, I wrote to them on Twitter. I put both their names in, and I tagged the FBI and said, these guys, check their sports books. They're on the take. There's no way Norma Dumont won this fight. What does Norma Dumont do well? Absolutely nothing. She is not an exceptional athlete, not an exceptional fighter. She doesn't do anything well. I saw her get taken down and beat up for 2 rounds. And the round she didn't get taken down and beat up, apparently she won that round. But this girl doesn't hit hard. She doesn't do anything right. Now, I don't know what the hype is. Who's she fighting next? Whoever she's fighting next, we're fading Norma Dumont. Because she's getting up there where you got to start fighting real people, and she's not it. On the other side, Vieira's not an exceptional athlete. She's very slow. She's very methodical. She's playing the point system, meaning I want to just strike for a couple of minutes, and then I'll get the takedown to win the round. That's a 2010 style of winning fights. That wins you fights back in 2010. Not anymore. Now they'll just look at you and go, well, you got the takedown, but you didn't do anything with it. And that's what they did here. I thought she did something with it. I thought she won the rounds because nobody was doing anything standing up. None that I saw. Oh, Norma outstruck her. Man, motherfucker, it's 20 strikes. Nah, I didn't like it at all. And the fact that they said Norma Dumont landed 62 significant strikes, not a single strike of hers is significant. She throws with no consequence. Outrageous results. Next fight, Dante Johnson versus Cedricus Dumas. It was a lock. We don't trust Cedricus Dumas at all. I did warn you, though, this was going to be an MMA fight, and it absolutely was. Dante Johnson is probably better at wrestling than I ever knew because I've never seen him wrestle. He's only fought, and he's knocked everybody out. But he looked like a good wrestler, and the fact that he was in shape at 185, he didn't look like he was getting gassed out and exhausted. Some of his submission attempts were not standard. They were a little unorthodox, so they didn't look right, just like his striking is unorthodox. I don't know how to read this guy. I don't think he's a very good fighter, but he's incredibly strong. He looks like an athlete, and that'll win you fights. So I'm just letting you know, like, he's all right. He's all right. He'll win you fights. The Vegas odds are stupid, and I don't believe in those Vegas odds at minus 350. I'm not even interested in those. But Dante Johnson, not going the distance, double chance, either submission or knockout is there. But he showed an ability to wrestle that was better than any other striker. And remember, in the UFC, strikers are a thing. Strikers will knock you out, especially at 185. They'll knock you the fuck out. And as long as you can wrestle a little bit, you're good. Cardio, you're elite. And this guy's got some traits that they look like traits of an elite fighter. I just don't think he fights that way. I think he needs to train and go get some new muscle memory from the way he strikes and the way he moves, because everything he does it just reminds me, like I said, it reminds me of a track athlete who races you but doesn't know how to start out of the blocks. Like eventually that's not a real thing. Like you might have God-given speed, but you're not going to win because you're not starting out of the blocks properly, right? Dante Johnson has God-given striking ability. His God-given power. He can knock you the hell out. On the other side, Dricus Dumas, fade him every chance you get. Don't matter who he's fighting, what the odds are, what he looks like, every muscle, every tattoo. That guy ain't shit, bro. He looks scary. He looks like he might beat you up. He won't. He'll quit before he ever beats you up. He's a quitter. He sucks. He shouldn't be in the UFC. I hope he gets cut. I don't understand why he's around. If he's just here to feed these other guys wins, then we will gladly take the other side of the equation. I will firmly bet $350 to win 100 against Dricus Dumas. Firmly. This guy sucks. Next fight, man. Two fighters I respect. I told you guys I'm on Chang Ho Lee. Rico knows. I put my RK next to it. My assessment is Chang Ho Lee's a hell of a grappler, hell of a fighter, good fight IQ, all that stuff. Guess what? He ran into a motherfucking dog. He ran into a dog. He outstruck Timothy Kawamba. It doesn't matter. He outstruck him 88-39. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. He won the first round, got on his back, looked like a boa constrictor, backpack in him, looked great. Then he goes to the corner, and they tell him, don't do that again. Save your legs. I think that's some terrible advice. Because now you come out the second round and you don't fight the way you did in the first round. Now you're fighting a style that you're not very good at, which is I'm going to try to pot shot and strike with Timothy Kawamba, who's a slick striker. By the way, Timothy Kawamba's got that dog in him. I knew that going in. I just thought he really doesn't inflict pain. Well, I was wrong. Timothy Kawamba's got that dog in him. He's out there to win. He's a gangster. I like it. Shout out to him. When two fighters fight each other and I like them both, I got to pick one. And I thought I picked the right one, and I didn't. So that's life. Shout out to Timothy Kawamba. Next fight, I still don't know anything about Billy Elkaνα. I don't. Billy Elkana wins this fight with a big punch and then chokes out his opponent. Kevin Christian gets punched in the face because he sucks. The whole thing just bothers me. I took Kevin Christian. It was a plus 220. I felt like Billy Elkana hasn't earned the right to be a minus 270. Shout out to him. He won the fight. I'll work on it. I'll figure it out. I'll keep assessing. But this is just one of those I'll just never understand. Like, I just don't think Billy Elkana is a good fighter. But he's winning. And he said he's going to show you some other shit. Who knows? Speaking of not a good fighter, Alan Nascimento wins this fight. Did you guys know I didn't know that Cody Durden took this fight on 1 week's notice? When I was doing the UFC videos, usually I'm not doing football in the offseason, so I can really focus on the videos. I can go check topology. I can go to, and that's my fault. I'm very detail-oriented, but when I did this UFC card, I saw Cody Durden there, and I didn't know it was a 1 week notice thing. I just know that Cody Durden, I know Cody Durden. I've seen him fight for fucking 10 years, so I don't need to go do any homework on him. Like, that's how I think, right? And unfortunately, had I known that, I probably would have made Alan Nascimento a lock even more. But I just picked him, and I picked him by points of sub. I think I told you to live bet it, make sure he gets a takedown or whatever. But now that I know Cody Durden had a 1 week notice for this fight, it makes Alan Nascimento look even worse. Because Alan Nascimento, although he won this fight by submission, he sucks. You can't go in there and just beat the shit out of a dude. Cody Durden's not a great striker. I've watched that dude get his schnoz just knocked every single time. I watched Cody Durden bleed all over the place. What are we doing? You can't go in there and impose your will. Cody Durden outworked you for that first round. Thank goodness we won. I would never bet on Alan Nascimento as a minus 320 favorite. He's never been minus 320 against anyone in the world. Alan Nascimento reminds me of a gym instructor, like a martial arts instructor at a gym. That guy should never be in the cage. His fighting days are behind him. He's just teaching you the craft. He's probably very detail-oriented and knows all the moves and what you did right and what you did wrong. But he's not a dynamic enough athlete to go fight in the cage. I tell you guys this, just 2 years ago, I was a martial arts instructor at the gym. And we had the nighttime MMA class. And we had these 18, 19-year-old kids come in. And I was their coach for MMA. And when I would teach them, I didn't want to spar with them. I didn't want to get in the cage and fight. And they're like, man, I got to fight this weekend. I got to do this. I got to do this. And I'm like, okay, well, let me teach you what you need to know. I don't want to fight them. I'm 42. I look at Alan Nascimento. I don't know how old he is, but he fights like a guy who used to be a fighter. That's how he fights. He's crafty enough to teach you a move or two. He's crafty enough to teach you the fundamentals of fighting, but he's not the guy that's going to go out there and whoop anyone's ass. Not these ass kickers. They gave him an old guy in Cody Durden. They gave him a layup. But if he fights a young prospect or anybody ranked as he keeps winning or whatever, he's got a 22-6 record. I can't trust this dude. He doesn't throw hard. He doesn't impress me. And it took him way too long to beat a guy on one week's notice. No, he didn't look like a minus 320 fighter in this at any point, even after he won. I don't like the way Alan Nascimento fights. He tries to strike because he has no wrestling. So he has to strike. He can't get you down. His skill set is jiu-jitsu, but he has no way to get you on the mat. That's fucking cool, bro. That's crazy. Like, you get what I'm saying? If you're a really good dancer and you want to impress a girl, but you can't afford to get in the club, you can start dancing in the parking lot. That's not going to impress her. You got to get in the club. You got to get on the dance floor. You got a skill set nobody can see. You're a jiu-jitsu practitioner, but you have no way to do it. So now you're just standing around trying to be a striker, and you're an awful striker. A fucking Cody Durden can outstrike you. You're fucking balls, bro. He's balls with a Z. He's balls with a Z. I want to say he's shit, but he's just balls. He's balls and shit water. Anyways, shout out to Cody Durden, who will never pick Cody Durden to win a fight, by the way. Next fight, Charles Radke absolutely embarrasses Daniel Frunze. If Daniel Frunze doesn't get cut from the UFC, we're going to fade him really hard. These odds were a gift. These odds are always going to be a gift. Daniel Frunze can't fight. He can't grapple. He has no chin to punch. So who did he beat up? He beat up cab drivers in Romania. He can't fight at all. Okay? So Daniel Frunze is not a real fighter. And Charles Radke went out here and showed me that he has skills. Charles Radke can grapple, wrestle, and strike. And he had enough cardio to finish this fight. Getting a third round rear naked choke when the same choke you were trying to apply in the first round didn't work, but you were able to do it in the third round, it's because your cardio was on point. That's a battle of attrition, and you got it done. So shout out to Radke. He's still a very limited fighter. He's got a maybe a high floor, low ceiling type shit, right? He could scrap. He's in shape. He looks good, all that stuff. But you can beat Radke. I wonder who he's going to fight next. All I can tell you is if Frunze gets another UFC fight, sell your car. Sell your car and put it all on whoever Frunze is fighting because you're going to make a ton of money. Frunze sucks. That's not a UFC fighter. We see guys like this every couple of years. They get to the UFC and they never win a fight in the cage. They're perfect. They're the guys you want to fade so hard. And if you're getting plus 140, you're getting minus 175. Yeah, that's a time to go like 4 or 5 units. Speaking of 4 or 5 units, I got on Yadir Del Valle at plus 200. Plus 200. And I got on him for a full unit. I just thought, I know who Isaac Dalgarian is. He's a wrestler. He's a pressure wrestler. But I don't think he can really scrap, and I don't like his cardio. I don't think he can really punch. I don't think he can really impose his will. He's just a good wrestler. And you know what I saw in this fight? I saw something I'd never seen before. This Yadir dude, he's 10-0. He's an even better wrestler. His grappling was next level wrestling. Like, his grappling was insane. He did some of the most ridiculous rides, rear naked, like everything the control he had, he's so strong and just gifted, and he knew what to do. Go back and watch that fight. He knew exactly what he was doing, and it was to the point where Isaac Dalgarian is in there like, yo, I'm in here with the wrong person. I can't scrap with this guy. And he was looking for a way out, and he tapped. Yadir Del Valle is a very good fighter. Very good fighter. I think he's an elite fighter. From what I saw, because I already know he can strike. I already know he punches hard. His wrestling, his grappling is world class. World class. It was master class. And he was going up against another good wrestler. He out-wrestled the wrestler. and it wasn't close. And he's huge. He's muscular. He's super. His back was so wide and strong. He looked like he's too big for the division, and he's not. So that means every fight he has, he's going to have a physical strength advantage. Let's talk about the skill set, right? I know he's a good striker. I don't know if he's got a chin or not, but I know he can throw and bang. I know he can wrestle now, and I know that he's stronger than you in every position. These are advantages you want as a fighter. And who is Vegas? Vegas don't know what the fuck they're doing. Vegas missed on this spread on this line so hard. They missed on this worse than they did the Colorado spread. Colorado-Arizona spread. I think they missed on that shit by 50 points. Shout out to your dear Del Valle. This is a real fighter, bro. A gangster. And we're going to make a lot of money following that dude. Jeremiah Wells versus Temba Garimbo. I went with Garimbo, made it a Rico Nose pick. I know he can grapple. I trusted his grappling. He came out here and he fought like a teenager. If you don't know what that means, he blew his load early. He just shot his load and he had nothing left. That's how teenagers do it, right? Shout out to them. Saturday night, you get a little too eager, it's over. 3-pump chump. I know you MVPs can relate. Nonetheless, Temba came out here, wrestled well in the first round, doing some nifty shit, doing all that. Man, Jeremiah Wells was in shape. Jeremiah Wells is shredded. He's in shape. He fights weird, but he had cardio for days. He was able to go do his thing, and he ragdolled, and he got into it to where Temba Garimbo couldn't even fight with him. Jeremiah Wells was doing nice shit. He was out wrestling Garimbo, and that was pretty good to me. That looked pretty good. Now, Jeremiah Wells calling out some people that he shouldn't be calling out, thinking he's getting in the top 15 after the next win or something like that. This guy's not a very active fighter. I don't know when we're going to see him again. But when we do, just remember, he's sneaky athletic. He does punch hard. But his wrestling's on point, and he's got cardio. He can fight for 3 rounds. As long as he's disciplined and he's in that joint, he's good to go. On the other side, Garimbo can't fight 3 rounds. Garimbo cannot fight 3 rounds. Whatever you see in the first round is not the same guy you see in the third round. So it's literally different people. It really is. Like in the first round, he's a world-class grappler, could out-wrestle you, could beat you to the takedown, win every scramble, all that stuff. By the third round, he's just on his back, wondering what the fuck he's still doing here. He is hard to finish unless you clip him, but he didn't. Nah. I'm going to tell you, those 6 minutes of control time by Jeremiah Wells were far more impressive than the 5 over here. The 3 takedowns, far more impressive than the 6 over here. Garimbo's just working too hard, and he's exhausted by the time we're done. And he's not a reliable person because of it. Vegas is going to make you pay for him, though, because he's a wrestling-based fighter. Wrestling-based fighters win rounds, and it's hard to bet against them, especially if you're fighting somebody who can't wrestle now. So all we got to do is just go, yo, who is Garimbo paired up with? Does that guy have the ability to grapple? Does that guy have the ability to be, defend a takedown? Then we're rocking with that guy, because Garimbo's going to eventually get too tired from trying to get the takedowns. So just remember that. Next fight. Rico knows. Told you guys, this Delija dude, Ante Delija, very good fighter. Like the way he scraps, goes in there to bang. This is heavyweights, a little different, right? Heavyweight's scary. But he went up, and he moved up the ranks way too fast. He fought just 2 months ago against Myson Tybura, a guy who's kind of fallen off the cliff, and he's moved towards the prelims now as a heavyweight. And now he goes and fights Waldo Cortez Acosta, who in his last fight, I think he was on the poster or in the co-main event or something like that. Like, you don't do this. Waldo Cortez Acosta is athletic. He cares about his record. He's 5-2 for a reason, or 15-2 for a reason. He's always going to find a way to win. And in this particular fight, he got his eye poked. And then he said, you know what? I'm not Tom Aspinall. I'm going to come back and scrap. You poke me in the eye, I'm going to hang in there. And he goes and gets this knockout. Impressive knockout. Great power. He was willing to go out there, throw and bang. A fluke of a fight for some people. Some people were on to Elijah and all that stuff. Look, he's not a bad fighter. They're both good fighters. I just have to pick the guy that's defensively responsible, more athletic, bigger by like 20 pounds, and I'm going to pick Waldo Cortez Acosta. I've watched him enough to know that this guy, to beat Cortez Acosta, you got to be an elite heavyweight in the world. You got to be one of the top 3 or 4 heavyweights in the world, because he's going to fight intelligently and he's going to protect himself. This guy's not going out there to get flatlined. He's just not. He's not going out there to get beat. He didn't get knocked out against one of the best punchers in the whole wide world. I don't think he's getting knocked out by just a regional guy or a guy that's been kicking it on other fight leagues, and now he's here at the UFC to take it by storm. Like, that's cool. But it's not happening, bro. You're 240. You're 230. You're not knocking me out. I'm 280 on fight night, right? So shout out to Cortez Acosta getting it done. I will say that this Ante dude, he's fast. He's game. He's willing to go and bang. I like him. So if we see him again, we're probably going to pick him. We'll see who he fights next. Both these guys will probably pick him next time we see him. We don't know. And then the main event, David Onama against Steve Garcia. I told you I was on David Onama for a couple reasons. Number one, I thought it was a coin flip fight. And I like David Onama's fight IQ. I've seen him adjust his fight strategy in the cage for 5 rounds. I'd imagine it's where I want to be for 5 rounds. Like, I just think, okay, if I'm going to trust a guy who's really smart in the cage for 5 rounds. David Onama did not come into this fight to fight at all. He felt Steve Garcia's power. I'm going to say he felt his power and put him on Queer Street. Okay, I'm going to say that. But more importantly, David Onama looked like a guy that was on the fall. Like, he was just there to take the fall. Everybody's talking about that other fight with Del Valle and Bulgarian, and they're like, oh, that one, something went wrong with the books. Somebody knew something, and there was some shady betting going on, and all the sports books are going crazy. I hear you, okay? But this one looked off to me. David Onama did not fight the way he fights. He didn't strike. He didn't grapple. He didn't do anything. He threw 5 punches. He landed 5 strikes, and did nothing else. He did not look like a world-class fighter at all. I don't know what that's about. He looked like a guy who said, oh, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. That's what he reminded me of. Like one of those middle schoolers who are walking around saying, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. And just walking around and getting beat up. Steve Garcia, we know he hits hard. We know he finishes strong. Or, starts strong. We know you don't want to mess with him up front. And he came out here and just got the job done. Did what he was supposed to do. Shout out to him. I still don't know if he can fight at an elite level. I don't know what we're looking at here. I know he's a good striker. I know he bangs. I think he's very hittable. I think he's not defensively responsible, but man, he hits hard, and the best offense and the best defense is probably a great offense. So, shout out to Steve Garcia. Glad he won. I don't like to watch guys go in there and not fight. So, fuck David Onama for that reason. But I told you guys I wasn't betting on this. I told you I wasn't betting on this or the last football game of the night, because if I'm ahead, I'm ahead, and I'm like literally up 25 units today. Today's a beautiful day for me. I don't put a whole lot of money out all season long, but if Kim's in Virginia, we're going to do what we got to do. So it's been a very, very blessful 2 weeks. So shout out to you, MVPs, if you're finding ways to win. Shout out to those who are losing. Get better. Do better. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace, y'all.